Hello, and welcome to DataJelly.com. My name is Jeff. In this demo video, I'm going to show you what DataJelly does. I'm going to help you get started with the new domain, and we're going to walk through some of the pretty cool features that we have. So let's just get started. So we are a server-side rendering platform for JavaScript-heavy apps. And so if you're building apps in Lovable or Bolt or any of these other like super cool modern tools, they traditionally produce JavaScript heavy apps, which can have trouble with SEO and bot and ranking and exposure to customers. So a server-side rendering platform such as DataJelly responds to those bots trying to crawl your site with full website content. That's what we do at its heart. We then take that data and do all sorts of cool stuff with it. So how it works in the background is every day, usually 10, 12 times a day, we will snapshot your website in the background. And with the snapshot, we record your full website experience. That experience is what gets delivered to bots when they come to your site. We also take that data and we automatically do a security and SEO analysis. And we'll show you that data in the dashboard in just a few minutes. And so at the end of the day, you get, by default, SEO and security analysis of the content, and the bots get fully clean, fully rendered HTML to find all of the great experience that you've built for your customers. That's what we do. And then we go a step further. DataJelly, as a server-side rendering platform, is really invested in your success. For DataJelly to succeed, our customers' websites need to succeed. And so we take that snapshot data, we use it to feed to the bots, but we also use it for enrichment. We also use it for AI sort of hints and things to go look at, etc. And so these advanced features, these features that go further up the stack, really set DataJelly apart. The other thing about DataJelly, which is super cool, is we are a no-code platform. There's no code to integrate to turn DataJelly on. All you do is make some DNS changes, which takes about 5 minutes of human time. And boom, we're enabled in the background, and it just magically works. It's pretty cool. And so what I want to do now is we're going to show you it working in real time, and then we're going to onboard a domain. So I'm going to go over to our bot check site, which is here on datajelly.com. I'm going to type in datajelly.com, which is our sales site, which is built in Lovable. I'm going to send in a normal bot check. So in this case, we're sending a normal HTTP check. You can see that the word count is really low because there's no rendering. There's no edge network working at this point, just a regular HTTP check. You can see some of the data. And one thing I want to call out to you is you don't see any links. If we see links on the page, we'll show you a big block of links here. So now I'm going to turn on bot mode. And what bot mode does is it sets a header, just like a Google bot or a Reddit bot or any of the other bots will do. Our edge network will detect that bot, go get the snapshot, and respond with it. So this is a real-time check. So you can now see our word count is jumped up because we're now getting the full page rendered for the bot. And we can now see all of our links. And if we come into the HTML, we can see, yes, indeed, we are getting all of the content. So this is a demonstration, just a very quick demo of the DataJelly Edge network responding in real time, and you can see the expanded data. One more test to show you. So I have another test website called opencove.com. We have lots of test websites deployed on Vercel and Netflix and Azure, on Namecheap and GoDaddy and all sorts of different hosting providers. I'm going to run a bot check on OpenCove, which is just a Lovable site that we built. And you can see it also has a low word count because it's not on the network. It's not on the DataJelly network. And so by default, this is what a lot of the bots will see. Let's go add OpenCove to our network to enable the server-side rendering. So we're now going to come up to their dashboard. So I've created an account. I've logged in. This is our demo account. So we have all these different test pages and different test sites. These are all real demo, fake websites, but they all have multiple pages and real content. So let's go add OpenCove. So I'm going to click on Add Domain up here. Now, again, we support almost every host, every DNS provider, etc. So I'm going to type in opencove.com. We're going to run some checks in the background, and yep, it's good to go. And I click Add Domain. So I've now added the domain to DataJelly to start the onboarding process. So you can see my new site is right here. I'm going to go track the progress. And the very first thing I need to do is set a DNS record. So there's 2 DNS changes the website owner, need to make. The first one is a simple text record to prove that I own the domain. And the second DNS change is for name servers. So this DNS record, I'm going to grab this value. I'm going to come over to the DNS provider, which in this case happens to be Namecheap, which is our provider of choice. You can use basically any provider that you want. I'm going to actually this time copy the results, come over here and edit this, paste it, set it, bam. So at this point, I've done my DNS change. It will now take the DNS network for this change 1 to 2 hours to propagate. What's happening in the background is DataJelly.com is looking for that change, Once we see that change, we will then prompt you to do the name server change. And that's it. As the website owner, I'm done. Everything else for onboarding just magically works in the background. DNS changes can take up to 48 hours to fully propagate. So once you get it started, it can technically take up to 48 hours. However, with all of our customers, we typically see it in 2 to 4 calendar hours, maybe 2 to 6 calendar hours, depending on your DNS provider. But again, my time is about 5 minutes in the process, and it's just magically happening in the background. So we have all these other domains onboarded. They've been running for a long time. Let's go look at some data. So remember, the snapshot data is the foundation of our server-side rendering platform. Everything stems from that. So these are the snapshots that we have running. You can see that they're all pretty recent as the time of me recording this. You can see this one's a pretty big site, 17 pages, 6, etc. We provide a gallery. So the gallery is just what it sounds like. It's just a set of pages of all the most recent snapshots. So in other words, this is screenshots of all of your websites that you have on our platform and the last time that we saw them. Now, one of the interesting things about this is it turns out this is actually a really great 404 finder. So sometimes when we're building these projects and AI tools, they can put in links and they can put in pages that just don't exist, or we forgot to build them. And so in this case, we actually have an API for this project. So in the web page that, in this case, Lovable built, they put a slash API link in the footer. I didn't notice it. The website doesn't have an API page. And so if a user clicked on an API link that's on my website in production right now, they would get a 404. That's not a great user experience. We don't want users to get 404. And so in this case, what we do is remove the link and probably go in and add a custom 404 error page. So the gallery is just a great way to do a quick view of any rendering issues, etc. But now we're going to make it more interesting. So again, with the snapshot data, we go through and we review it for security. So we do a security review on the snapshot data, and then, which is the static HTML stuff that you're sending down to the client. We also do a code level security review if you turn on the GitHub connection. So we will actually code scan the repo for your project in the background in addition to the front end. So these are all test websites. So we've inserted fake SEO issues, fake security issues to be able to show things. So I'm going to pick on Chicken SaaS, which is Chickens as a Service. And as you can see for security, we've got some warning issues here. So we're loading resources. Yeah, it looks like we've got some insecure logs, etc. And I can come in here and I can look at all of these issues. Now, some of these issues will be critical. Some of them will be fairly innocuous, but they won't be hidden and they won't be a secret. So the security analysis, you can come in here and really figure out some stuff. In fact, on DataJelly.com and some of our sites, we found some real issues that, again, our AI tools put in, and these were very easy to fix. Again, as we snapshot in the background 5, 10, 12 times a day, this gets run every time. And so every snapshot, we rerun security. Every snapshot, we rerun SEO. So the end result is as your pages change, as they get better, as they get fixed, as you break things, we'll find it. So the next area is SEO. Again, server-side rendering, more customers, SEO. So in this particular case, brand view, which is one of our sites, there's 57 issues. There's 3 core issues where we're missing a tag, we don't have a canonical link, and we're missing the title. So our average score on all of our pages for brand view is 83. So you can see that we give you an SEO score. This is based on our set of DataJelly heuristics. We see this one page as level 55. That page definitely needs some action. Score of 85 is pretty good. Score of 95 is better. But if you're scoring on DataJelly 80 to 85, you're in good shape. You're in pretty good shape. But again, for every single site you have on board, you can come in here, you can look at all of the issues. So you can, for example, we're getting 90 on that page. Key dates, 10 critical issues, canonical links. And you can actually take these pages, take these issues, and hand them to your AI tool and say, I need to fix this. That's what a lot of this is designed for. So security, SEO, console logs. So one of the things that happens a lot with AI tools is they'll do console logging in the background for debugging and whatnot. Typically, you don't want those console logs going out to customers because they can link keys, they can link private information, etc. And so we also look at your snapshot data for all the console logs. So I'm going to pick on my chicken site, for example. In this particular case, it says there's 18 critical console log issues. You can see that we're leaking environment variables, database credentials, payment details. These are all bad. It's not good. Front and center for me, easy for me to discover, easy for me to go fix. Now I can come in and look per page and see what all the different issues. You can see there's a warning for the API leak, etc. And again, these are all easy to come fix, all easy to come find, etc. So if you want an SEO check 12 times a day on your site, if you want a security check 12 days on your site, turn on DataJelly. We magically do it in the background. The history page is just that. It's just a history. We just show you all the different individual scans that we're doing in the background. So now let's jump over to Deep Thought. And Deep Thought is our feature area where we really bring in a lot of enrichment and AI and really trying to help your content get better. That's really what the goal of this is. So the first thing to get better is to know where you stand. We love metrics. And so we've enabled SERP tracking, search engine result tracking, directly in DataJelly. So what we do is twice a week, we are monitoring your SERP results for the competitors, the key names, and the countries that you set. So for example, for check the stats, we have set in the United States. This is check the stats is about analytics. And we have a set of competitors that we've given it that we think we compete against too. So twice a week, it's tracking those results. And I can come in here and I can start to see how I'm ranking versus how my competitors are ranking. So for example, for these keywords that I've picked that I want to compete with for SEO and page rank and getting viewers to my site, you can see that I'm not ranked at all. This is where you're going to start off with. We're not going to start off ranked. And again, this is a test site, so we don't expect it to rank. But you can see instantly where my competitors are ranking. This is fantastic information, even at a high level, to get a really great idea of where my competitors sit, where I sit in the market, things I should do to compete, etc. And again, just like with most of DataJelly, this is just happening magically in the background twice a week, whether you come and look at it or not. So the next area for Deep Thought is our competitors review. So again, for every single project that you do, we come in here and we look for competitors. And so for brand view, these are the competitors that the system thinks I'm competing with. For check the stats, plausible, simple analytics, Google. I've heard of some of these competitors. Um, but we then go a step further and we produce a set of insights and a set of vulnerabilities about the competitors. And so for check the stats, these are insights of check the stats versus our competitors. And so this is not generic. This is specific to my content, my data, my user experience, and how we compete against each of these competitors. Again, amazing research data to come in and look at the insights, look at where we think they're vulnerable. Now, us producing a vulnerability and the website's ability to exploit that are two different things. That's about execution. But again, this data is hard to get. If I'm a website owner, I'm worried about attracting customers and all these other things. This is difficult to do. We present it front and center. We also present a set of landing pages. So SSR and SEO and ranking content, how much content you have, etc., is really, really important. And so we generate a set of landing pages that we think that you should add to improve your ranking. And these are really things that a bot or a search engine or a crawler would really be looking for content and for sources of truth. So, for example, you can come in here and see it thinks that we should add an AI insights page, a customizable page. It gives you why we should add it. We take that a step further. So if you come down to the individual pages here, so like data privacy, we actually build you a prompt. And so the idea is that you can take this prompt, cut and paste it into your AI tool, and build the new landing page in almost no time at all. And again, landing pages are here, the data gets refreshed. It's pretty cool to see how we're helping you succeed. Meta tags. So again, meta tags are often something we just forget to do in the background, but they're so critical for SEO ranking and bots and everything else. So we start off with just showing you your metadata. That's simple. So for all of the sites that you have on our system, we just show you the data. Now, one thing to keep in mind, for example, for thirdparty.ai, you can see that we don't have any SEO keywords set. You can see that we don't have any open graph image set. Not good. Area to improve. But if you look at some of our other sites, indeed Check the Stats, which is built on Lovable, we have the default Lovable site, so the default tool that we built it in. And so if I go share this site on social, whether it's LinkedIn or anywhere else, it's going to get a Lovable social card. The image by default will be Lovable. We love Lovable at DataJelly. It's fantastic, but we don't want our customers to see that. So again, this is just helping you as a website owner, as a project owner, come in here and identify issues. Now, keywords, metadata keywords are low-hanging fruit and they're really easy to go implement. So what we also do is we come in and give you an AI prompt to add more keywords. So in this particular case, for Check the Stats, it thinks that I should add these keywords to the site, again, to track SEO, to track more crawling. For key dates, it thinks I should do those. And again, we go a step further and we have a prompt here for you to not only add all the keywords, but to add the description, do the graph, etc. So you can take this prompt, cut and paste it, hopefully, or look at it and edit it into your tool of choice, and bam, all the metadata is at least addressed to start with. Lastly, I'm going to show you conversion tips. So again, this is deep thought. This is something we're doing several times a week in the background for all your different pages. And we're looking for conversions. We're looking for how can we help you generate more revenue? How can we help you attract more users? And so these are a set of optimization strategies for each site individually. And you can see they change each time. And we also have more data about what we're showing here. We have more data about how funnels work, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is just a quick preview about DataJelly. Again, we are a server-side rendering platform for JavaScript-heavy apps. No-code solution. Add your domain in about 5 minutes of human time and get started with all these awesome features today. So if you'd like to get started, head over to datajelly.com, send us an email, and we'd love to chat. Thank you and have a fantastic day.